This here is a remarkable,
Welcome to the Wedding of Distinction podcast, a program for the unique bride and groom. The Wedding of Distinction is a concept where brides and grooms want something better. Not just your average wedding. We have the tools to make that happen. Now, here's your host, Mike Fernino.
Well, hello, everybody. This is the Wedding of Distinction. My name is Mike, and I am your host. This podcast is designed for couples who are planning their wedding. With all different type of guests and topics, my hope is that this content makes the planning process a little easier and, dare I say, fun. The podcast is part of a series that you're going to listen to today, and it was recorded live from the Woodwinds Bridal Show that was held in January of 2025. The Woodwinds is located in Brantford, Connecticut, and is one of the premier wedding facilities of our area. The bridal show was put on and organized by Charlene Sharo of Wedding Styles of CT. And I want to have a big thank you to Charlene for allowing me the opportunity to interview with all of the wonderful professional vendors that participated in this particular bridal show. Now, before you can have the big party and the big reception, there's always the ceremony. And many couples are electing to hire a wedding officiant or wedding celebrant or justice of the peace. Hey, what the heck? What's the difference? Well, my guest on today's program is Theresa from TLC Ceremonies, and she's going to explain all of the differences along with what she does in getting her couples to tie the knot. I want to remind the listeners that this series was recorded live, and there's a lot of background noise, but that adds to all the excitement, doesn't it? So, I think there's a lot of fun stuff to listen to, so we're going to jump into the program today on the Wedding of Distinction podcast. Hi, everybody. It's loud, and it is happening here at Woodwinds. I am very lucky to be invited to have our podcast as part of the Woodwinds Bridal Show. This recording is actually taking place in January of 2025. Who knows when you are listening to it, but it's cold. Oh, it's cold. But we're thinking warm thoughts. We're thinking weddings. It's a bridal show, of course, and I have Theresa from TLC Ceremonies. Theresa is a wedding officiant. Or do we call it celebrant? Do we call it justice of the peace?
Well, I'm not a justice of the peace. I'm a celebrant. I'm an interfaith minister. I'm an officiant. But I'm not a justice of the peace.
Okay. Could you just explain the difference?
A justice of the peace has to go through your town, and you're either under the Democratic or Republican or liberal. And there has to be spaces for that. So every election, you have an opportunity to put your name in, but if there's no spaces, you can't get in. Whereas an interfaith minister, you just get ordained and you're one and you can marry people.
It also sounds like a JP is much more straightforward for a bride and groom that want the basic.
Right.
Whereas what you can do, we're celebrating the union. So how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it since 2019, 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about the service and what made you get into this?
Oh, it was a calling, and that's a very long story. It's not something I would have ever imagined, but I was called to become a minister. And then from there, I said, okay, what part of ministry do I want? And what came to me was people were asking me to marry them. And I'm like, okay. And as an interfaith minister, I get to bring together couples of different faith traditions, which is amazing because, I've married several Christian and Hindu couples. So you have the traditions from the Hindu background and traditions from the Christian, or Christian and Jewish. So that's what I love. But I also marry people with a secular ceremony where there's no religion and it's just about love.
But the important thing is that you can introduce the religious element when requested.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're seeing a lot of weddings that are at the properties. They're not in the church anymore, or they're on the beach, or they're at an open field. Pretty much, and that requires somebody who not only has the experience but can work with the couple and help get them through the whole process. Could you speak to why it's so important to not have your friend for your wedding go online, get a 5-minute course, and then just throw them into the fire?
Yeah, well, because like you said, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of pieces, a lot of moving pieces, and you want to make sure that, first of all, that they're comfortable speaking, there's a whole skill behind it. You want to make sure you're speaking slowly so that everybody's getting every word of this amazing ceremony. You also want to be able to create a story for your couple. You know, it's not just something funny, although there can be funny aspects of it, and you want to make sure that it's somebody who knows all of the ins and outs of what needs to be done during the ceremony. For example, when it's time for the bride and groom to kiss, to get out of the way so that they're not photobombing that special moment for the bride and groom. You know, I mean, that's just one of the moments. Or even in helping orchestrate the bridal party and how they process and how they recess and things like that. You're just going to go in and, I mean, certainly when you get ordained through online, they give you lots of different ideas of what to say during the ceremony, but there's also technique involved and there's skill involved with it.
Yeah, I just want to point out, as a professional wedding DJ, I can really appreciate it. If you listen to Theresa speak, she's articulate, she's smooth, she knows exactly what she's doing here. Imagine how awkward it is when you have a family friend who is not comfortable with public speaking. How difficult can public speaking be? You know, so I mean, having someone who is very comfortable in that moment, and then you also mentioned you know when to get out of the way as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's an honor. When somebody asks me to marry them, it's an honor, as it would be to a friend. But put a mic and a crowd in front of a friend, they might be okay at karaoke, you know, but as something as important as a ceremony, you're not always so sure. And I've gotten calls 2 months before the wedding. My friend was going to do it, but they chickened out. It's like, okay, we got 2 months to pull this together, you know?
Most of the time they do chicken out if they have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, ceremonies are made up of all different parts, and there are extra parts that you can add. Speak to that a little bit, how you can work with your couples in creating a ceremony of substance versus a 2-minute do you,
right.
You're married.
Well, and that's all you need to get married. You need the I do's, and you need I pronounce you husband and wife, and you need a marriage certificate. Everything else is fluff. So the vows and the rings are rituals that most people have, but there's other rituals like the unity candle, where 2 people bring together the single candles and light 1 candle, meaning that the families are coming together. Or the sand ceremony, or the rose ceremony, or jumping over the broom, or tying the knot. All of them have different symbolism, and whatever resonates with the couple is what they do. And then you've got the traditional faith-based rituals that some people use. So, and it's just beautiful, and it's such an honor to be able to do that and work with the couple to create the wedding of their dreams.
Now, as far as wedding of their dreams, what are you seeing as far as how far out people are booking your services? When should they book their wedding professional celebrant?
Well, they should book when they're booking everything else, you know, because we get booked up also. I'll give you an example. I have somebody for April 26th. Today I got another call for April 26th at the same time. So you just never know. You want to make sure that, because the other thing is you also want to talk to more than one wedding officiant and make sure you really resonate with that person. So you don't want to minimize or limit the people that you can possibly have to pick from for your officiant.
Well, that's the other thing. A lot of couples today, I don't know if you're seeing this, because I certainly am, they don't want to talk. They want to text you or they want to email you. But why is it essential that you have a good chemistry with the person who's going to marry you?
Yeah, well, it sets the tone for the marriage. I mean, that's how I look at it. You really want to be able to connect with that person because they're going to create a ceremony that all of your loved ones are going to be listening to and participating in, even if it's just in supporting you. And that's the kickoff for your marriage. So I would think that you'd want to be able to resonate with that person and create something together that's something you dreamed of, rather than just a wham bam, okay, we're done, let's party.
And not just that, they're going to be hearing you forevermore in their wedding videos.
That's right.
And yeah, all of that, yeah. So how can the listeners of my program get in contact with you, Theresa?
www.tlcceremonies.com, or you can email me at tlcceremonies11@gmail, or give me a call. I also have a Google page, or come here today and meet me.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing, though, is not completely live, so they're hearing this. It's over.
Okay, it's over. All right, don't come here today.
But we'll come to the next bridal show.
There you go.
Actually, these shows are put on by our friend Charlene Charo of weddingstylesofct.com, and you'll probably be doing some future shows as well.
Yes, I am.
It makes actually a lot of sense to come out and speak with the wedding vendors. And, of course, if they come out and speak with you, I'm sure they're going to be impressed because you certainly speak very, very well.
Thank you.
Which is something you want to have out of your wedding celebrant. So,
yeah, I've been talking publicly in front of people. My corporate life, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And then as a minister, I speak in front of congregations. So, yeah, I'm very comfortable with the mic.
Fantastic. Teresa, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it very much. And it's loud, it's all happening, but it's exciting.
Yes, thank you.
And we're going to have some free food now.
Yes, okay.
On the Wedding of Distinction podcast.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We hope you are enjoying the podcast. Your Wedding of Distinction host, Mike Fernino, is a 30-year veteran of the wedding industry as a professional DJ and master of ceremonies. As the founder of Music in Motion Entertainment, Mike has worked with thousands of couples over the years, creating dynamic and exceptional events that stand out in the eyes and ears of the wedding guests. Music in Motion is a full-time professional wedding service based in Connecticut and serving the surrounding states, also offering photography, custom lighting design, videography, photo booth, and live classical and jazz musicians. Call 203-627-9600 and ask for their wedding e-brochure or visit their website at musicinmotionentertainment.com.
This here is a remarkable,
The Wedding of Distinction podcast is a production of Music in Motion Entertainment. All rights reserved. Any unauthorized publication of this program is strictly prohibited. For the Wedding of Distinction podcast, I'm Mike Vincent. Happy wedding planning, everybody.